What's up, everybody? Welcome to the RotoWire Soccer Show. My name's Ryan, joined again by Mo to break down this three-game Champions League slate for Tuesday. It is the reverse fixtures of last week's slate, except we have the Atalanta Bruges game instead of the Milan Feyenoord game, which is the early game. So some similar things. First, rotowire.com/soccer trial. If any of you guys aren't members and want to check it out, cheat sheets, all the stats, set piece takers, Discord, all that good stuff. Mo, how you doing? What do you think of this slate?
What's up, Brian? It's good to be back talking Champions League. I think I don't know. I've been hating on these type of slates, but I gotta say a slate where there's a clear favorite. I'll take that. I'll take that back as opposed to that weird reverse slate, the one that's going to be for the 19th that had no clear favorites and was ruined by Dortmund just coming out of nowhere and smashing. I like the predictability a little bit. I was surprised that Bayern didn't destroy Celtic last week. But I am pleased that it probably means we're not getting many rested players there. We don't have to worry about that. I do think they'll win. How comfortably? I have no idea. I feel like Kompany still hasn't figured out how to get this team firing on all cylinders. So we'll see. But I think they'll do well. I think Atalanta will also. What was the reverse? What was the result in that one?
So they're losing 2-1. They were favored to beat Bruges last week on the road, but didn't. So Atalanta will be chasing. Bayern's up a goal, and then Benfica also up a goal.
Beautiful. So nothing I love more than Atalanta, who are already favored, chasing that game. I think that one will be good for DFS. And then Benfica, Monaco, I still have no idea what to expect. That game was kind of ruined, if I'm not mistaken, by a red card at some point, right? So I don't know if we'll get a defensive Benfica that's just trying to hold on. I don't know if we're going to get, one that's kind of going all out attacking. I continue to be like a Pavlidis hater. Like I don't even think about him. And then every week he scores a brace. So lots of possibilities. I think we got three really good games. I think we got some obvious places to go, but we got some less obvious places to go that are also going to be really tempting.
Yeah, I agree. Good breakdown. Let's see. I was a little bit surprised to see Benfica with that high of a total, 1.92 up a goal. But I suppose, I don't know, it looks like we're dealing with a weakened Monaco team here. They have some injuries at defense. They have Golovin out. Zakaria out, Vanderson out, Singo out, Teze out. So kind of a weakened Monaco side. Benfica will be without Di Maria, not really the end of the world. He subbed on last week and then got injured after subbing on and came off. There was a 52nd minute red card in that game. Benfica neither team had really done much. And then Monaco got the red card and Benfica kind of dominated. And then Atalanta, they're chasing that game. It's always tough with the Atalanta. We'll get into their set piece takers. But it looks like they're finally going to have Lookman back on the bench. Gasperini said he's recovered. The plan is to have him on the bench and eventually sub him on, also due to the potential of overtime, which definitely potential of overtime in that game with Atalanta down a goal. So Lookman probably comes on at some point and takes set pieces, I would assume. So getting into forward, we had a decision last slate. Harry Kane was really popular, but you really could only play two of Kane, Olise, and Kimmich. Probably the same thing here. The last slate, Olise was 11K, and now he's dropped to 10.2. So he's dropped 800. Kane's dropped 400. I think we both faded Kane last time out, Mo. I mean, people won with Kane too, but you didn't need him. He scored a goal, finished with 16. I mean, you probably wouldn't want that for 11K on this slate. What are you thinking about doing with Kane and at forward?
Yeah, I'm still inclined to probably fade Kane. I don't feel like they know what they're doing over there at Bayern. He played 90 minutes over the weekend. It's Leverkusen, so it's not an easy match, and it was away, but he put up 3 points. Um, there's a report that he had some sort of I don't know if it was a bug or injury or something. But like that's just the last thing you need on top for him already out of form. So yeah, I don't feel good about it. And obviously, the counter argument is clear, right? It's a smash matchup in a game they need goals in at home. But like you said, salary's tight. I probably want to go elsewhere with my money. You're muted.
Sorry, I was just checking. I think Bayern had maybe 2 shots in that game, 0 shots on target, 0 shots, and maybe I don't even think they had a shot until the 70th minute. Something like craziest thing I've ever seen, really, from Bayern. So I think all their players, like Kimmich, what did Kimmich do? Yeah, Kimmich scored 4 points, didn't even take a corner. So they kind of got dominated by Leverkusen. Yeah, Kane. What is Kane? He's minus 185 to score. We have here. Yeah, I don't know. I'm undecided. I faded. I'll be very tempted to fade. It's just, what are you going to do if you fade? I like some of these other Bayern pieces, but I don't like that they get subbed at 65 minutes. At least they did it last time. Played 65. Needed that goal though. Okay, so where do we go forward with if you're not going to go Kane? Even if you're going to go Kane, let's see. Retegui, tournament option for Atalanta. Retegui's going to start with De Ketelaere, 9,500, 8,300. I assume both those guys don't get played very much with people spending money on Bayern. Kerem, our Turkoglu, or however you say his last name, played 90 minutes last time, took some sets. Probably does again with Di Maria out. Seems pretty good for 6,700. Should split sets with Kochku. So that looks like a pretty good option. Probably not going to go anywhere on Celtic. Monaco have Mbolo and Bareth, 2 center forwards that don't have floor, so probably not really going to go there. And then Bruges. Yeah, really tournament options only for Bruges here. Solis, 6,300, split sets. Pretty good player. Probably gets subbed. Talby, cheaper. I played him on the last slate. Got an assist. Seems pretty promising, but like no floors on these Bruges guys in this spot. So, I think Kerem, it seems pretty straightforward actually going through it. Like it should probably be 100% owned in cash, or in a lot of stuff, unless people are going to try to jam other Bayern guys. I guess I skipped over whether Sane or Coman starts. I've seen either one, 79 and 77. They're fine, but are going to get subbed for Gnabry and whoever else doesn't start. I don't know, Mo. So what are you thinking?
Yeah, I'm kind of similar to you on Kerem. I feel like if he's going to have stats in addition to just being an attacking machine at home, he feels like a really good click for 6,700. These Bayern pieces, as you said, just feel very unreliable. Whoever starts of Sane and Coman, I think the other one is coming on as a sub. Gnabry might be in the mix as well. So, that's another risk.
I missed this Strelder up for 4,100. I'm sure he'll catch some ownership too.
Right. Shelter up. I feel like since we touted him, I think he had he was 3,500 and had like a 8-point game rather. And then he put up 2 straight slates of like 3-7, 2-5. You can do a lot worse though. At the end of the day, you're going to have really expensive midfield pieces, and he's a forward playing at home. That counts for something. De Ketelaere is an interesting one because he's a very talented player. I really like seeing him in action. This weekend, he only played 45 minutes, so you can tell the idea is to keep him fresh. But he has the smash games, and then he has a lot of games where like 65 minutes sub 2-3 points. I remember him him and Retegui absolutely smashing a slate earlier. But they were priced around like the 4,500 mark or something like that when they were favorites. So it may ultimately be difficult to get there, but I do like his upside. I think he is definitely someone who should be in contention in tournaments. Yeah, I think that second slot is going to be tricky. I probably ruled Kane out too soon. It does seem like at the end of the day, he will be in contention. But I think whether it's Pavlidis, whether it's the other cheap guy from Benfica, whether it's CDK, or whether it's even another Bayern forward, I think you have a few respectable, maybe even better pivots.
Yeah, there's just not that many options if you don't play Kane. I agree. De Ketelaere would be one of the better ones. If you did, yeah, they didn't start him over the weekend, clearly to play him here. If you did get 90 out of him, it's probably one of the better spots on the slate just because there's not that many good spots besides Bayern. Yeah, his floor is way higher than Retegui's. Yeah, I don't mind that. They have like some injuries. Only Lookman's going to come on for somebody. But yeah.
That's the scary part because Lookman, I think Lookman plays with De Ketelaere and probably is a better sub for Pasalic, but Pasalic is like a little bit more defensive. And so it may be where they're in a position where they're trying to just keep the game in control, in which case CDK probably gets subbed. So definitely sub risk.
Yeah. Okay. So over to midfield, we got Olise 10-2. Oh, comment from Jack in the chat. Love to see it. Atalanta form been a bit shaky lately. They have, and they're very frustrating. The players that you want to play are very frustrating. Bellanova, possibly Zappacosta, but maybe not. We're at midfield now, so let's see. Olise 10-2, splitting sets. 24 last time against Celtic. You hate to see him getting subbed at 65, but I mean, he has potential to go longer, but he got subbed at 66 or something over the weekend as well. Still, though, if you're not playing Kane, I think you're probably playing him. I mean, they're the top two options on the slate. Musiala's there too, but definitely a lower floor, much lower floor than Olise. We saw him, Musiala. He was chalk last week, very popular, and 2.9. Kimmich up to 9K now. Played him for 8,800 last week. He needed that assist to get to 18. It's a tough call for 9K here. Yeah, that's going to be a tough one. And then, yeah, Zappacosta, like I mentioned, these guys take a little bit of a hit with Lookman now back on the bench, but Zappacosta had been taking corners. And in this starting lineup, I mean, it's tough to see. Really, the only guys who really take anything are Bellanova and Zappacosta on each wing. So you figure they would split. Maybe one of them would take more. I mean, whichever one of them plays, doesn't get subbed, should smash here. Like, they should dominate Bruges for the most part. But both guys are frustrating. Down the list, what else? Yeah, Kuchku. What is Kuchku up to 7K now? Like, prefer Karem, I think, but Kuchku is still okay. Might have more sets. They might split. You could do worse than Kuchku for sure. Monaco have Golovin. Golovin. Yeah, we're gonna need Golovin news. He was out for Saturday. I don't know if they held him out for this match or if he's gonna be out again. I kind of feel like he's gonna be out again if he is. Lamine Camara would probably split sets with Ben Seguir. I don't know who has priority there. I
I
don't know,
think
Mo.
it's
How do you feel about midfield?
Yeah, they definitely. I mean, this happens every year. I think once we get the first round of games, the value starts drying up, right? So, it's tricky, right? Just starting with the Bayern guys, I am very reluctant to fade Kimmich in this role. At the end of the day, it's just basically find Kimmich and have him whack the ball from anywhere in midfield, and then also take a good portion. I don't know if it's still half. It might be a little bit more than half of the corners. Yeah, he took 4 and 3, 4 versus 3 for Elise. Yeah, and then before that, even more. So it's going to be hard for me to fade Kimmich. Elise is going to be a little bit more risky, but I'm kind of similarly aligned with you. I'm seeing that Benfica have this, we're projecting at least, this guy, Barreiro, to start in defensive midfield. It's one of the only like truly cheap plays on the slate at 3.4. I don't think there's much attacking upside. I'm going to have to look more into that, but he is playing for the favorite, so that'll be interesting. I think Kamara, if he does start, is someone I also have a lot of interest in. Kamara always disappoints me when I play him, and then when I fade him, he always, just absolutely performs. The price isn't super cheap, but I do think he has priority over most of the guys that are in. I'm trying to see if, he last game he wasn't in, but before that he took 3 and Golovin took the rest when he came on. Before that, it was different takers. So he generally has priority, but it's not kind of a comfortable situation. I don't. Go ahead.
No, I just have it up there. He took 4 over the weekend there, played 61 minutes, got an assist, dropped 16.4. Let's see. He took 4. Ben Seguir took 3. I'm not sure, though. It's possible that Ben Seguir took when Kamara got subbed. That would seem likely. They might have split. I don't know. But, Kamara would be a great play if he gets the minutes. He's very frustrating, though. Starts and plays 61, starts and plays 45. I don't know. I think you want to see, check if Golovin on the bench, that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I agree. And then I always just bear and Jack's discussion about Atlanta's form. It's true. They have been pretty bad. The last thing is I always seem to tout the cheap midfield option in Bayern's midfield. Here it's projected to be Pavlovic, but the last time we did that, it actually was Limer. If you had played Limer last slate, it would have been a complete flop. I think he had like 2 points. So, just be cautious of that. That being said, if someone like Pavlovic gets to start at 3.3, he can definitely give you more. And it just seems like the way Bayern play at some point just ends up being, smash the ball forward, cross the ball forward. And if you end up getting 7 to 6 from 3.3, I don't hate that either. So I can't say there's many inspired choices because I don't like the Atlanta midfield options. I don't feel great about some of the other guys, but there are some options to take.
Yeah, these punts, or the lack of punts are pretty bad. It makes me like you might need, you're gonna need one though if you want to play like some expensive Bayern guys. It makes me tempted to try to go more balanced. I don't know if you can find enough good plays though.
I just checked. I don't like the prices on a lot of the Monaco guys, but I should shout out Minamino. He only subbed on in the last game. If he ends up playing this game at 4,600, he is definitely someone I have a little interest in. He put up 30 points over the weekend versus Nantes, and he only played 60 minutes, so he's not like tired or kind of overused. he has a long stretch before that where he barely did anything. But, if anyone watched Minamino in his Liverpool days, I mean, this guy's an attacker, right? If the game is in a place where they're going to be chasing or where, Monaco need a spark, he's a guy that they will feed the ball to. So at 4,600, I have a lot of interest in that.
Yeah, me too. I would like to see Golovin out, and I would have some more interest in these Monaco guys. They play some minutes and might have sets. Even like a Ben Seguir, like if he's going to take right-footed sets when Kamara, like maybe Kamara starts and plays 45 or 60 or whatever, but I don't mind that either. He had some big performances when he plays 90. A lot of shots. He takes some corners. That could be pretty good. I don't think really people want to pay 6,900 or whatever he is either. Okay, so over to defender. We're gonna have Bellanova at 6,600 as I guess the expensive defender people are considering. I have been playing him on recent interleague, Champions League, whatever slates, and I feel like he's never done it for me. I missed this 22-point game. I feel like played him here. He gets subbed early. But if he plays 90, I mean, he smashes, and he's taking right-sided corners, at least until Lookman comes on. Yep. Didn't play last weekend to start here. However, the thing with Atalanta is they have subs for both their wing backs. Cuadrado's back now, and Ruggieri is the other one. So it's really not going to shock you if either or both Zappacosta and Bellanova get subbed early. So it's hard to really feel too confident about that, but he's got upside for 15 points for sure. And then if you don't spend up, De Kuiper there on the other side, I don't think you're going to do it in this spot. Maybe if Bruges was chasing, it might be a little bit different story, but probably a bit too expensive. But splitting sets for Bruges. Carreras, really popular last week for 3,600. Now he's 2K more. He did really well last week. 4 shots. He was forward a lot. Could have scored. Almost scored with one of the shots. But now probably overpriced here. But, not a bad play. There's just not a lot of great defenders on this slate if you want to get the most points. Bayern probably going to start Guerrero, right? He had 1.7 and got subbed last time. Like, that's a tough click. I mean, the next real guy here who's the next guy to Stanisic here, 3,700. I mean, he starts at right back instead of Limer. That's pretty much a lock, and just figured up from there. What do you think, Mo?
Yeah, this actually might be the one position where it looks like we've got.
Sorry, I missed Chao Enrique. I mean, that would be a lock. But
yeah, I was going to say we have a lot of value plays in this segment. Chao Enrique for sure at 3,500, chasing the game, I think is going to be very interesting. I think this Thomas Araujo playing on the other side of Carreras at 3,700 is going to be good value. He definitely is just kind of fitting the mold of just Benfica guys who go forward, attack, and kind of do their part. And he has good minutes too. I don't really know. We've projected Stanisic to start several times, and he doesn't. There's always just someone. Even Bowie, I think, has started over him. Every time I think, the fullback that's opposite of Guerrero or whatever is going to be a good play because they're really cheap, then I just kind of totally get ruined by it. The Bowie play really stings because I think they were in this mode where they were crossing the ball a lot. He was crossing the ball a lot. And then he just became completely like secondary. Like every time he'd be in a perfect crossing position, he was like, where's Kimmich? He's the guy who has to cross the ball in. And so he ended up getting subbed on like 65 minutes with like 5 points. I thought I was going to at least get the clean sheet bonus. And then they conceded a goal in the last minute to even take that away from me. So that's not to say he's not a bad play. If we're gonna tout the defensive midfield partner, certainly the fullback is a good consideration. But there are going to be a lot of other guys worth looking at as well. One guy, I know I'm taking us back in time here, but we didn't talk about him. On the theme of this Bayern team being really just frustrating to play and watch, Engels is 5.3. Do you think you got any interest in him, especially if your lineup starts playing a lot of Bayern folks as a run back for 5.3? What do you think about that?
Yeah, I don't mind it, I guess. I hadn't been considering it, but I guess just because there's really not much value, like really no punts. So can't be that bad. Like we saw Celtic do fine last week. He had 10 crosses. Did he miss a pen? Or no? No. Wait, did somebody? I can't remember. Somebody missed a pen on that slate. Anyways, 10 crosses, taking most of the corners. I didn't even look into Celtic. I would want Bernardo to be out.
Right.
He was out last time, and we said Engels might go 90, and he did. You would want Engels to go 90. But yeah, I mean, a monopoly of sets seems pretty good there. Yeah, you're right about Stanisic. I was looking like, can't feel too good about that. Just like a price thing, but he went 85, just came back from injury. He went 85 about 3 weeks ago against Slovan. Only scored 4 points at left back. Did have 2 shots, really no other stats. Came on over the weekend and played 22 minutes. Yeah, I don't think you could feel great about that. At least you have some clean sheet odds, though, and he's cheaper than their center. He's cheaper than both center backs. So I mean, that's also something. Chao Enrique would be the lock. He started and went 90 over the weekend. It says he only took 1 corner, but had 10 crosses, assist, 19 and a half DK points. He will split sets. I'm pretty sure he's left-footed, so he would split sets with Kamara and or Ben Seguir. And only 3,500, which is ridiculous. It gives us no decision, really. Yeah, I played Araujo. Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Say, if I could say something about that, here's like a little no ball like tidbit. If they start Diatta's like a weird like he's basically a forward who plays like back and plays really back, right? And so I get the sense usually that when they play him, Enrique's going bombing forward, right? If Vanderson starts instead, they're both kind of very similar fullbacks. And it looks like Vanderson says suspended, but I imagine that's probably for league. Usually when we do that. No, it's for Benfica. So there you go. So Vanderson is definitely out. So when Vanderson plays, I think Enrique plays a little further back. But with Diatta's out as kind of if Diatta's in as the backup, I think you will see Chao Enrique go forward a lot more.
You mean, yeah, no, I think that's a good, but yeah, no, okay. I thought, isn't Diatta more attacking than Vanderson?
I know he is. And so it's a little counterintuitive, but Diatta just doesn't play like a fullback, I guess.
No, I feel I last time was like the first time I even remember him playing fullback. I remember playing him as an attacker. Yeah, right. Yeah. Okay.
It's all
no, it's a fair point though. I just, I think with the price, it just doesn't even matter really with Enrique's price. But I know what you're saying. It's a good point because the other one I've seen where it would just make Enrique go forward. I've seen that it might be Thilo Kehrer starting at right back, which, he's more of a center back. And then I would assume Enrique would be attacking, more attacking. So look for that too. But again, like 3,500, it doesn't matter, unfortunately.
If you open up, so there is actually data to back up this point. If you go to Diatta's game against Angers, the only other start he's had this year, I think. Yeah, that should be the one. And then if you scroll down, you'll see Enrique played on the other side, and he put in 8 crosses. And so Diatta had like 3 crosses. He did a couple things, but for the most part, it was Chao Enrique really dominating this game and so on. So it's a small sample size, to your point, and it is counterintuitive, but just a thought. He's already a good play, but definitely a play worth considering even further.
Yeah, good points. Who else? Yeah, Thomas Araujo, that seems fine. I played him last week. He was 2,800. He's actually a center back, but they don't have any backs right now with Ba out, and sometimes they use Arsenis there, I think, but he's a mid. But Araujo is just a really good player, so he can kind of he should have had an assist too. He would have had he says he has 2 shots assisted there. He should have had a third, and he really assisted Pavlidis' goal, but it hit off like the defender's toenail, so they didn't count it. Anyways, yeah, that seems fine. I don't know. After that, like, I don't see much, Mo. The Celtic guys. Johnson was really good last week. Commentators were talking about how good he was all game, but now he's 3,900. Taylor down 27. You'd rather play a center back than him, I think. Yeah, I don't know. I think it's pretty straightforward. There's just not a lot of good options.
Yeah, I think that's right. I think you're gonna need savings somewhere. This is probably where to get it. Can you highlight Bear's comment? Yeah, Bear. I just take. This is why you sign up for the RotoWire.com soccer trial, because Bear is just dropping these gems in the Discord, and we're just all trying to learn from him. So that's basically exactly right. Exactly right. But yeah, I think with all the value that you have at defender and all the really expensive plays and lack of value that you have at the other positions, I think you take a couple of these guys we've mentioned. Even an odd center back in tournaments isn't going to be a bad idea, and you just run with it.
Yeah, I think that'll be a popular move. And I agree. Although I do still, I think it is okay if somebody wants to take a chance on Bellanova. You can just kind of lap the position.
Yep.
I don't think I'd play him over. I wouldn't play him over like Chao Enrique, though. You'd play him together. But yeah, okay, goalkeeper. Neuer, 6K. Are we going to have money for it? Do you even want it? Patricio, 57, and Trubin, 53. Let's see. I haven't really tried to build lineups yet. I'm not sure. Seems like it would be tough to afford. Trubin's got some save upside, I think, with Monaco needing to chase. Well, for sure he does. For 53, don't mind that in tournaments. I like Mignolet for 38 with Atalanta needing to chase, and they haven't been in great form as it is. So first lineup I made, I clicked on Mignolet. I'd be fine playing him, but what do you think about keeper, Mo?
Yeah, I'm always team never Neuer. That only intensifies when they're already ahead. You could easily see them kind of further padding that lead and then conceding a late goal. It's the Bayern specialty. So I'm not interested there. I'm also not super interested in Schmeichel because I do think they should score some goals. I do think they are going to probably get a little defensive at some point. Just not really a lot of interest in the goalkeepers there. I think there's good arguments for both keepers in the Atalanta Bruges game. Mignolet is a quality keeper. He's going to be, fighting for his life to keep that lead as much as he can. And then on the Carnesci side, I don't really love, the price tag necessarily, but his team is down, right? So even, like you imagine the script in these games to usually go something like the weaker team really locking it down as much as they can the first 20 minutes. Then the pattern kind of develops that Atlanta starts swarming and so on. And then presumably in the second half, they might get a breakthrough or late in the first half. And then they might go and press. So basically, there's not going to be a lot of danger to Carnesci in the typical kind of scenario until much later. Obviously, that's not great for his save upside. It is intriguing for his clean sheet upside. So I have interest in both. And then the Benfica and Monaco game, I think if I have interest in the Monaco keeper, and I think I see the argument for Truman. Hard to rank those because, as we always say, goalkeeper is going to be not entirely, but heavily dependent on what script actually pans out. I think I'll probably let salary dictate. If I have to choose between Mignolet and Majecki, I probably like Mignolet more, if for no other reason than I'm familiar with him and I know he can produce those big save games. But I think there's good arguments either way.
Yeah, that's a tough one. Mignolet or Majecki, either one. I should have mentioned him too. Monaco score 1 goal. It's going to be a great spot for Majecki. And then, yeah, like you said, the Atalanta script, like good chance, they go up a goal and it's all even. And then that game will go to extra time too. So, yeah, I think a good argument for both keepers in that one. But, a lot of luck involved in keeper. Obviously, hope you click the right one.
One thing that's worth mentioning, because this always trips me up. I don't know how much it needs to factor into your analysis, but I think you won't get the win bonus if the team isn't winning through 90 minutes, right? I think that's usually how it works out. And I think it's even like if your team, like for example, if Atalanta scores 1-0, right? And so they're not ahead on aggregate, but they're ahead in the game, you will get the win bonus at the 90-minute mark. But the rest is to be determined, right?
Really? I don't know. I don't know. You're confusing me now. I don't know.
No, I think that's how it works. I think it's whatever the result is after 90 minutes dictates the win bonus. I think that's how it works.
What about clean sheet? So I don't think so. So you could get the win and then the other team scores in like the 110th minute and you get to keep your 5-point win.
Jack is telling me he thinks I'm wrong. That's fantastic.
Yeah, I think I know what you're saying, but it's not that.
Okay, I will research this while you are telling folks.
Okay, yeah. I mean, is there anything else? I mean, let's talk about pretty much everything. So, anything else for tournaments? Benfica. Who else is out for Benfica? They also have Amdouni projected to start. Who would he start over? He is only 4,800. I guess he would be in over.
Here we go. So I'm actually right. Jack and Ryan are both wrong. Let's highlight Jack's comment just to emphasize that he's wrong here. Goalkeeper win stat is determined by the score after regulation time or extra time. That's the +5 or whatever, if necessary. Penalty shootouts are not considered in determining a winning goalkeeper.
But no, wouldn't the extra 30 minutes be extra time?
Isn't that oh, okay. So that's okay. Really?
Extra time, I think, counts the extra half hour.
Okay, but listen, this part is important. For two-legged ties, the win stat will only consider the game being played, not the tie as a whole. So looks like the 30 minutes will come into the equation, but the win will can't handle Jack.
No, I can't handle Jack.
But the win will be determined at the end of extra time. So there you go. Everybody knows how this works now. You have no excuse come tomorrow.
Awesome. Thanks, Mo. All right. Anything else for tournaments? I'm just looking over this whole player pool.
Yeah, there you go. Even Christopher Robinson is adding on, letting me know that I've confused stoppage time versus extra time. It's fantastic.
All right. Well, at least we got it sorted out. Anything else, Mo? I think that was pretty comprehensive.
Yeah. Yeah, I think we covered all the angles. I think there's a lot of good ways to go. I don't think any of these games are in blowout mode, so they're all alive and well. So yeah, good luck. Just figure out the right way to go, figure out the right keeper, figure out the right value play, and win yourself. What is it tomorrow? 10K?
Yeah, it is back to 10K. Sorry, I just saw Mika Barres scored another hat trick over the weekend. On the last pod, he had scored a hat trick before that. He did it against Nats again over the weekend. Only 5,200 if you want to consider that in tournaments. Monaco need a goal. I mean, I'm just looking at guys who are not going to be owned. We said midfield is weak. Maybe you're considering Aaron Ingles. Ederson's the same price. He usually plays 90. We've seen him come up with big goals in the past. Not going to be owned. So just to win that 10K, I mean, stuff you want to think about in the main. Even someone like Dooney, I mean, he's cheaper than all these other guys playing for a favorite.
Yeah, I am glad you shouted out Dooney. Burnley, great. He always looked really good. Sub risk, but you know what? Like, he's live for a goal.
Like same play as Shelder, just 1K more or whatever. Not even.
And talk about like varied outcomes. Like it's too cruel. Like, can you imagine like watching Mika Barres even before this last weekend? Can you imagine like being a sharp, watching him just absolutely dominate whoever AJA is, with his hat?
Ajax.
It's not Ajax. This is League One.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my bad.
Yeah.
Auxerre.
Auxerre. Yeah. I didn't know how to say the name, but I think it's Auxerre. Can you imagine just watching him absolutely dominate them and then playing him like versus Benfica and getting 0.6? Like how frustrating. So, good luck reading the tea leaves and figuring out if this is a 1-point game or a 40-point game for me.
It's in Corsica. Thank you. Is that? Thank you, Todd.
The chat's really coming alive.
Chat on fire today.
Between everyone, uniting to correct my understanding of stoppage time and extra time, and letting us know where Ajaccio or Auxerre is. I mean, we've got a fountain of knowledge out there.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks, guys. Slate's going to be about getting the Bayern pieces right, most likely, like last time. But we'll try to have a pod tomorrow. At least there'll be something. Maybe there'll be an article. Maybe there'll be a pod. But thanks to Mo. Thanks, everybody in the chat. RotoWire.com/soccer trial. Check it out. Good luck, everybody.
See you guys.